Hello, hello, everyone. Gary and Joseph, Janet, Diane VA, Papa G, Soretta. I think I got everybody on the page here. Well, guys, we're midway. This is not going to be a long show tonight because it's all over the internet that 4547 is going to have a call tonight on TV. He's going to have a message tonight that's supposed to be pretty powerful. Now, will it be? We won't know. But we're not going to find out if we're sitting here. So I'm going to go through some things. I'm going to play the music. I'm going to talk to the kids real quick, say the pledge. I've got some things I want to go over, and we're just going to get through tonight. And I also want to announce, so watch, because there's a good chance on Friday, unless we get the 800 numbers, there's a good chance on Friday that I will be doing an afternoon show. So, hi, Bill, Joseph, and I think I've pretty much got everybody.
Janet.
Well, I've already said Janet. No. So anyway, let's do the pledge and the song, and we'll get into the other stuff. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Hello again, everyone. God bless the U.S. by A. Proud to be an American. When you stop and think of that, guys, is there really?
If you're paying to chat with girls online,
Is there really?
you can do it for free. There's a 100% free dating app in the description. description below. I've only been using it for a week, and I've already met so many.
Is there really anything better? If you live in a country, how do you think the Ukrainian, the Russian people, Venezuelan people, and things like that would love to have been singing this song for the last 20 years? Have a little vested interest in the Ukraine, and I know how they feel because I talk to Julia every week about this. And she said, if we could only sing, I'm proud to be a Ukrainian, or at least I know I'm free. But they can't. But there's some turning ties. We're going to talk about that tonight. Now I played the music. I've said the pledge. The music that I played tonight, I have no legal rights to. Anything that we use it for is for entertainment purposes only. This video is not meant for children. You can watch it under the discretion. See David, Duffy, and Joseph, and Ian. You can watch it under the discretion of your parents, grandparents, legal guardians, someone who's old enough to give you permission to do it. If I use any other videos or any other information in the show tonight, I have no legal right to it. I'm using it for information purposes or entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here tonight, I believe to be true. I believe we are sitting in the greatest time of the world with the greatest transfer of wealth about to occur. If I talk about money, I am not a financial planner. I have no knowledge. I just give you my opinions of what I believe in. Now, I mentioned the revaluation to a person today, and they said, you've been telling me this for the last year. And I said, and if I have to, I'll tell you another year from now. But I really and truthfully don't believe I'm going to have to do that. But it's just unbelievable how many negative people are out there. But here's the deal. How many negative people are going to still continue to be out there? How many more are we going to do if we don't get something done? I'm going to talk a little bit about the special beds. And the special beds is a very sad thing for me. Not in the way of a lot of people. I lost my little dog a couple of weeks ago, and had the special beds been gone the way 4547 said they would, my little dog would still be alive today. And that has nothing to do with people who's lost loved ones. And I'm going to give you a indication. I have a niece who married a young man, and when she was still in high school, and her sister 3 years ago celebrated her 20th high school reunion. She's 2 years older than her sister. So I'm going to say roughly 25 years ago, her mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer and was not expected to live 6 months. She was a tough old bird. And yesterday afternoon, she finally gave in and went home to God. She lived over 25 years fighting cancer. Deadlines for these special beds she met 2 or 3 times. So how do we stand up? And how does our main person, the people who's in charge, stand up and be celebrating and happy? And oh my goodness, it's here and we're all going to celebrate. But there is no reason that this woman, making not 1 but 2 deadlines, shouldn't be with us today. You go and you talk to somebody about the big C, it's going to be cured. It's like that. You talk about high blood pressure, you talk about other things, and it's going to be cured. We're not going to have sicknesses. But I wanted to tell the story about my nephew. I used to say nephew by marriage, but he's been into the family so long. He's just my nephew. Hell, he's closer than some of my blood nephews. I have 4 blood nephews I haven't seen for 10 years, all of them. Ain't missing nothing, but ain't seen them. So I'm going to talk to the kids and Jimmy and Patriot 11 along with Wyatt Earp and Karate Kid. Man, school's out. If it's not out, it's getting close. I was talking to Jimmy's dad, and I think they get out this week. But they've been homeschooled. Sarah, the young lady who took over is now helping Jimmy's dad with the kids because she's expecting twins. But unfortunately, her loved one won't be with her, but, she's got plenty of support. And I know all of us will back them too. But when school's out, get out and play. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, could you give me a $25 card? I said, for what? So I can play computer games. I said, you're kidding me, right? I says, I wouldn't give you 25 cents to play computer games. You want to play games? Go outside. It's beautiful weather. Go outside and play. I know some people that one of their kids is very obese. And you know what they did? You know what they did to help this? 4th grade, 5th grade, or 6th grade. I think she's in 5th or 6th grade. You know what they did to help her? They went out and got her one of these electronic bikes that she can get on it, hit the thing, and she just, it's like a little mini motorcycle. She gets no exercise at all. I talked to her mom the other day and said, yeah, since we did that, she's gained 7 more pounds. Well, no kidding, because she's not going to stop eating. And I feel sorry. She's the sweetest little girl in the world. But it's the parents' fault. Last night I was at Patriot 7's baseball game. And it was in our hometown where we played when I was growing up, Herscher, where I went to high school, where Amber, my daughter, went to high school, and my son went to high school. And my son decided to bring his kids, and then my daughter had their kids. So it was a little family reunion there. But see, at the place where they have the ball diamond, they also have the stage for the festivities on Labor Day that they can get up there and perform and all this and that. And the kids got to play up there on the stage. And I looked at my niece, my granddaughter one time, and I said, look at that. There was a little kid up there. He was as wide as he was tall. But then Small Hank was up there. And Small Hank was up there playing. And I always worry because my son was a chunky, little overweight young boy until he started to grow up and he decided he wanted to play football. He decided, well, I'm playing football. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm starting on offense. On defense, they brought a new coach in, and he went from playing every play at every position, even special teams, we didn't even get to see in 10 games. He got on the field for 11 plays. So he said, boom. He went from 265 pounds, 6'1", 265 pounds. By the time 2 months later, show choir, he'd already lost 60 pounds, 30 pounds a month, a pound a day. We monitored him with the doctor to make sure he was okay, and he was fine. Before the show choir ended and the school year ended that year, he was down to 185 pounds, and he loved show choir. And the next year, he just dedicated himself to that instead of playing football. But see, you have to have the dedication, kids. And I looked and I said, I expected Small Hank to be a heavy kid because he was. He was as wide as he was tall for a long time. And all of a sudden, he's slender. And I'm not picking on kids and I'm not picking on parents. It's just that there's so much to live for. And there's going to be so many easier ways to live. But don't lose sight. I'm not giving you $25 for a card. I won't give you 25 cents for a card. But I tell you what, I'll pay the gas to take them to the park. and they can play outside. And that alone, if it's a long trip to the park, could cost more than the $25 for the card. But no, get outside. I know Patriot Princess, our queen, does, and so does Hunter. I know they get outside because I know Grandma Jan is not going to allow it. And Princess, she also plays softball. I think Hunter plays softball too. Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. I'm hoping Grandpa John makes you kids get outside. You know, I look at it this way. If they won't go, you take them and you make them play. For where I live, I can walk two of my grandkids down to a park. They can play in the park. And you know what? They love it. They love it. But we live in a day and age they can't go that 2 blocks by themselves. Even in the small town that I live in. We had an incident in the middle of the night the other night. Scared the living bejesus out of me. It is what it is. You know, I want an amazing world when Patriot Little Leona and Little Elan get old enough to realize what's going on in this world. Patriot Cutie Pie and Patriot 17. All they want to do is come to the United States where they can sing the song Proud to be an American, where they can have freedom and they walk outside and there's not going to be no sirens going off and they're not going to have to run to an underground tunnel to stay safe. Well, they want to eat ice cream and go to the beach too. And we're going to make our own beach. That's part of our deal. And we're going to buy little Cutie Pie. We're going to buy her own ice cream maker. And then I was told the other day, well, if you're going to buy the ice cream maker, you got to buy all of the things, the sprinkles and the nuts and the candy to go on it. It's a done deal. As long as she go outside and plays. If she thinks she's going to sit inside. She's set inside enough. Patriot Super Gymnast. I was over babysitting her and Patriot Small Gymnast today. And we had a blast. You know, did nothing special, but we hardly watched any of the TV. We didn't get on the phones. We didn't get on the computers. We sat and we talked. And I told these two, see what you guys figure out here. I told these two that Larry, Jimmy's brother, who passed away because of the accident, he was on his way to pick up his fiance to give her the ring he had in his pocket. He was on his way to do that. He stopped at the store and then he never made it. 6 illegals drunk took him away from all of us. So Sarah has been working with the kids and homeschooling them the rest of the year, getting them done with school. We'll be living with Jimmy and the family. It'd be part of the family. And she told Jimmy's dad, she says, hey, Dad, she says, I had a surprise too. He was going to surprise me with a diamond ring he had in the pocket that night. I had a surprise too. On Father's Day, I was going to tell him we're having a baby. So on last Friday, they decided to go check and see what the baby's sex was. Was it a boy? Was it a girl? They needed a boy's name. They needed a girl's name. They come to me and they said, we need a boy's and a girl's name. And I said, okay, what's the sex? And they said, yeah, we need a boys and girls name. And I'm talking to a Patriot Super Gymnast. And I'm talking to the little gymnast. One is 12, one is 6. The 12-year-old, who I consider the smartest kid in that school, and she gets straight A's and sometimes A pluses. So she proves she's smart. She says, I don't understand what you mean. I'm sure you guys understand what I mean, right? Yeah. They need a boy's girl name and a girl's name. She's having twins. But then they say, oh, we need names. And I said, it's simple. The girl's name is going to be Renee and the boy's name is going to be Larry. So see, even though they had a loved one taken away, their brother, their son, their husband-to-be, they're still going to live with them forever and ever through these 2 little beautiful babies that are unborn yet. So keep your prayers for this family. But I thought it was funny because Ella, Super Gymnast, couldn't figure it out, and the little gymnast did. Now, I think it's funny in that cause because I'm talking to the little gymnast, and I love numbers, guys. Kids, I love numbers. Right, Carrie? Do you love them? Johnny Holiday, David, Susie Q, Papa G. I love to work with numbers. And the little gymnast looked at me today and says, Grandpa, I'm going to have a birthday next year and I'll be 7. I said, I know, but you're only 6 now. And she says, I know, but I'll be 7. On the 5th of this month, she'll be 7 years or 6 years and 1 month, but she hasn't made it to the 6th yet, or 5th yet. And I figured 12 times 6, you're 72 months old. I'm 72 years old. And she looked at me and she goes, we're the same age. I said, if you want to look at it that way. And she laughed and she laughed. She had her I Love Grandpa shirt on. I said, guy bought you that shirt. Must have been a really nice guy. She said, well, you bought it. And I said, that's what I'm saying. Hi, Larry Smith. And Mike Davis is here. Hi, Dave. Mike. Kevin's here. I think I've already talked to you. Little Kira, she's slowly, even though mommy don't want it to, she's slowly becoming a grandpa's girl, a Grandpa Hank. And she looked at me the other day and says, you're Grandpa Hank. Yep. JJ, short for Jason, he's Small Hank. I said, yeah. She says, I want to be Hank. And I said, well, you don't have the middle name Hank or Henry. I want to be Hank. So me and Small Hank now are calling her Henrietta, which you can take it down. Now it's Hank. So now she's Tiny Hank. But it's amazing, John, how, and you're around it all the time, John. You're around the young ones all the time. You know, it's how amazing how something will come out of their mouth that you can't even imagine where they got it. But that concludes tonight's version of the kids, and I wanted to get through it a little quicker, and I did, but that's okay. We're going to move forward. But I also want to talk a little bit now more about it's time to get things done. There's a family that they want to adopt an 11-year-old little boy who has deficiencies. It's just the dad. It's a girl that's going to have twins. The dad's dad or father-in-law, I'm not sure on that, a brother and 2 little sisters. And they want to adopt this young boy, and he's 11 years old, and he's got some deficiencies. He has been out of so many homes where people take him, don't do nothing with him because they don't want to do anything with him because he needs special needs. So now this family wants to adopt him. They're going to be financially able to do it. You know, they're going to have the abilities to do it. But they want $30,000, I believe I heard. $30,000. You know, no. One of my projects is to get that. I don't care if I got a camp on the White House lawn to talk to 45, 47. That is a bill that has to be taken care of. And when we can get kids, we're going to build it. Julia, myself, Ron, all of our group, we're going to build it. And we want these kids to come to get adopted into homes. The girl that I said her husband's mother died yesterday. Her husband's mother died yesterday. That girl cannot have children. She would adopt 2 and 3 children in a heartbeat, and they have the money to support it. I have another niece that's the same way. They have the money to support it. But we have so much damn greed. So much greed in this country that all people think about is the money. These people that think about the money and don't put the kids first, they need to get a rectum rocket up their butt hole, and they need to be sent to GITMO. This has got to change. Wolverine started a new site with Mauricio. If you have projects that you're going to work, announce them here. Maybe people will want to work with you. I was the second person to say what mine was. The first one wanted to do the exact same thing, work with the kids. That's my number one project. Forget my town. We'll rebuild a town if they want us to. If not, me and Ron's just going to go out and buy farmland, put houses up on the farmland, and let people come and live there. But if they don't want to do it, my number one is the children. My number 2 is the animals. Then I want to make sure I'm building small centers with one bed of each type in these centers, in all these little small towns, so people can constantly get in there. I don't ever want there to say anytime again that people can't get on these beds. And once they're on them, once a year or maybe once every 6 months, go like a doctor. When you're age up in there, go to the doctor. It gives you something to do, gives the doctor something to do. The doctors are going to be lonely people when the only one they're treating is the newborns coming into this world. So I have these projects. I went there. And I will say this, when Wolverine, when he started this, it's amazing. The person said their project about working with the children, and I come right after that. I told them mine, and man, I'm telling you, my screen just went with people loving the idea. We will build it, they will come, and we can ease the pain of all of these countries that have lost children in the wars. We cannot bring their children back, but we can ease the pain. Yes, my favorite TV show, movie of all time is Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, and we can ease the pain. And I'm telling you, Julia and myself have put this together, and we don't just put it together and let it sit there. We talk about it 5 days a week. We never write each other a letter that we're not trying to improve it. Anybody here, Janet, Susie Q, Gary, Bobo, Kevin, Bill Woods, Joseph, Papa G, Soretta, anybody here who has ideas what we can do to make this children's network better, but we have to get it to where the children can be adopted. They say a project has to create jobs. Well, you know what? When these kids get adopted, they're going to have plenty of jobs because we're going to have people going regularly. We're going to hire hundreds and thousands all over the world, millions of people to go in and make sure that these children are being treated. Gone are going to be the days that these children are just in a home and they don't even get to come out to supper because the other children, the children of blood of the family, they're eating, and these guys get the scraps. No, them days are gone. And the people who try to do it, we're going to give them a one-way ticket to you know where. So I got a little riled. .45-47 is supposed to speak tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, which is coming up. It is now 7:27. Them are three numbers I'm not real pleased with, but it is what it is, and it seems like I see them every day. 7:27 is the birthday of my ex-wife. So, hi, Robert. Robert Ford says, hi, Ralph. Say anything else? Hi, Robert. So I don't know. Is Robert on? Someone give me a thumbs up or a couple thumbs up if Robert's on. He might not have made it. He has to sleep a little bit. So let's see what I got here. And that's nothing. Here's something from, I haven't read it, so tonight at 9 p.m., 45-47 will address the nation from the Oval Office. This was not on the schedule 48 hours ago. Three things happened in the last 72 hours that forced this address. The the 1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund was scrapped, not delayed, not paused, eliminated. The fund that was designed to compensate every person the DOG's targeted between 2020 and 2024, gone in a single morning. No explanation given to the recipients, no alternatives announced. You don't cancel a $1.8 billion payout unless you're replacing it with something larger, something that requires national audience and to announce. Number two, Bill P-U-T-E The man who spent 18 months reading the financial records of every political enemy in Washington was placed in command of 18 intelligence agencies. Not next month, not yesterday, no. Confirmation hearing, no. Transition period, immediately. You don't install a forensic hunter at the top of the intelligence pyramid unless the hunt is about to go public. Number 3, the Pentagon sealed its press room. Journalists removed classified designation applied to a room that has been open since 1947. The last time a press room was sealed before a presidential address was September 2001. 3 moves, 72 hours, 1 speech tonight. The fund was not canceled. It was absorbed into something that cannot announce in a press release. It requires the president. It requires cameras. It requires the words executive order spoken directly to 200 million people. PULTE was not promoted. He was positioned. You don't put a man who knows where the money went in charge of agencies that know where the people went, unless you are about to connect the two publicly. The room was not sealed for security. It was sealed for sequence. Nothing leaks before 9 p.m. What happens tonight was planned before the war started. The war was the cover. The ceasefire is opening, and the address is the door. Watch it live. Save it. The night does not repeat. This night does not repeat. And then they have a picture of Junior with his beard, very distinguished under it.
I found that from Savior.
But then it goes a little further. Ron found that from Savior. I found it another place, but I got something that takes it even another step. They're saying tonight, guys, listen to me. When you watch it, possible comms, and I know I did that, and I do it because that's me. I am not making some obnoxious thing. Possible comms for tonight. Watch the water. They've said for years. So watch that. That's a good possible comm. Water is flowing. Watch that. Things are liquid. Watch for that. Money is moving. What I'm going to do is not before, but when I go home from Ron's tonight, and I'm right, Julie, and I'm sitting there, I'm going to kind of do a gematria on water is flowing, things are liquid, money is moving. And I'm going to pick out the 10 best comms of that, and I'm going to post them on our Messenger page. I'm going to post them on our Telegram page so people can go in and read. Guys, what tonight could be looking at is some very, very amazing things could happen. Eyes could get open. 200 million people will watch this. Now, just before I come on tonight, I was just doing some searches, and it was just a little thing, and they were talking about the war in Iraq, in the Ukraine and Russia. And for all this time, it's always been Russia is this, and Russia will end the war if they get control of the Donbass region. Now, all of a sudden, it's not Zelensky Zelensky become the first president of another country to call the president of the United States of America, but also call Congress and talk to them simultaneously to get help, to put a stop to the war in Iran and come and get this stopped in the Ukraine and Russia. Everything you're reading right now is positive towards the Ukraine. Myself, personally, I believe it's just a bunch of hogwash. I believe the war is over there. I've told Julia about that for a long time. She's even agreeing she can't remember the last time anything has been dangerous in their country. They can walk, they go to the places they used to go, they go to the beach, they go for walks on the street. The kids are playing in their yards. But now all of a sudden, Putin, the Putin man, he's coming out and saying it has to end. We cannot keep going like this. We have to get together as nations and we have to put an end to it. A man who's in total control wants this region, wants this because of all of the assets this region has that can make them a country that will thrive financially forever. Maybe they'll look at someone like me and say, hey, he's got an idea there. Ukraine, you can't afford to get all of this minerals out. You can't do this and you can't do that. We're getting to the point now that we can't afford it all. So what good's it going to do them to get it? Why don't we work together and do 50-50? Why don't we work together? And if they do that, we can end this war like that. And it's going to end. It's going to be announced. Iran's going to be announced, guys. We are close. Something is going to happen huge that we're going to get what we want to get because they're going to have the biggest celebration in the history of the world on July 4th of 2026. I'm going to play 3 little videos. They're from a guy that we follow. They're short. I want you to hear what he has to say. They're very short. One of them is 13 seconds. They're very short. Here you go.
Things from some other groups that are connected at that level. A friend in the Admirals group has a new NDA. All he can say is soon.
That's number 1.
Douglas, that's good to be able to release those this week, which might fit with some of the other bond updates I need to share. Donna, I am following up today. I dropped it because they were saying, hey, we expect to be able to release those this week, which might fit with some of the other bond updates I need to share. Donna, I am following up today. I dropped it because they were saying, hey, we expect to be able to release those this week, which might fit with some of the other bond updates I need to share. Donna, I am following up today. I dropped it because they were saying, hey, we expect to be able to release those this week. All right, back to the bond thing. Told you about the meetings, expecting some today. I don't know if they get paid or not, but I do know that my group folks and a couple of my bond folks are all telling me that they are being told their target is June 8th. Like this is some magical date now that is running around. That's what when I started back on the emails this morning, that is what I was getting covered up with. I think I have probably 5 or 6 sources that all gave me that date. I'm still digging. We'll talk about it more this evening. We should have a couple, 2, if not 3 bond updates by this evening.
Okay. I started laughing because Larry Smith, my mom's maiden name is Fish. I don't just watch the water. I say in the water. That's a good one. But then there was someone, Tony, you're stating what I stated. The war is over in Ukraine. Do you have some information to share that you could type up here and we could read? I say it just because I do a lot of research. You guys do a lot of research for me. And then I take your research resources and go a little different. Now, before I go any further, I want to state again, when I just played them things from Mark Z, I have no legal rights to it. I'm sending it to you guys just so you guys can hear there is positive things on bonds, and we have to get the bonds going. If we don't, we don't go.
Oh.
Oh, I was going to read this, but this is what I just read about tonight. Let me go back to my information here. Bear with me. Reading one, restore. I'm going to read Bruce's call last night. He did have a little bit of information. I'm not going to say it's good call, bad call. I mean, he was on for 11 minutes, but he talked about the other two people's programs. But, nothing's going to change the way they do things. So let's just take with the information. Thursday is still in play, Bruce says. Special beds, dire needs for and Zim put you on the top of the list. Timing for the special beds was 6th, 7th, and 8th, the weekend to start using the special beds. That is based on info that came in from a good source that we hope holds up. This is before the public starts. ZIM holders are called sovereigns. As far as the tariffs, dividends, payments, they are to come out for people 60 and older via bank accounts, via direct deposit, and under age 60 get via a check in the mail. If you went to college and graduated at 22 or 21 but have 1 year of workplace experience, you'll be able to receive the dividends. If not, you will not until you get 1 year in. At that age, you will be entitled to the tariffs dividend checks received by regular checks. You must be a national citizen born in the USA. This is good news and supposed to be $2,000 to $3,000 for the U.S. citizens born here. Not just a one-time shot. Could be monthly for a year or up to 2 years or even longer. The monies for this were in the pipeline over the weekend, and Bruce thinks it comes when we start our exchanges and to start looking for it tomorrow and Thursday. Why? When everyone has money, not just RV money, everyone will have something, and Bruce thinks it covers up for those exchanging. Bruce personally believes that NESARA, no NESARA, we get notified with 800 numbers. Bruce has 2 timelines, both refer to EBS. First is solid 10 days period between June 24th and July 4th, which we discussed on Monday's call. This is when the disclosures of things come out on the EBS that will culminate in the July 4th and the massive celebration for the 250th anniversary of the Republic. Another concept is that it would be taking us from approximately the weekend and bringing out the EBS, and could be the first fruits of the NESARA, and it could also be time for the EBS. Iraq has their prime minister, and we have the Iranian influence in the Iraq banking system finally removed, which is a good thing. All is moving forward for as Iraq is concerned. Iran still not quite coming to the party, although there is positive activity behind the scenes for peace accord. Bruce knows we want to see Iran resolved without further conflict, but beware of the fury of the patient man. Bruce thinks we are looking good for the month of June, for any day now, and notifications for the first fruits 21 or older or younger with 1 year of work experience under the belt of tariff dividends with mail checks. And if age 60 and over, it's direct deposit. Beyond this, Bruce thinks we on a precipice or whatever, we have the 4th of July celebration plan, and thinks Scott Bessent will speak prior to then, as it seems NESARA will be rolled out to us from the 24th of June to the 4th of July. Bruce hears the debt jubilee starts July 5th. We are not talking about the RV And then we think between now and the weekend, according to top guys, this is the big news. Here's Restored Republic, the 3rd of June 2026. The most recent update compiled as of Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026 by Judy Biden offers a detailed glimpse. Hey, Karen. What I was doing is I'd asked the gentleman that said that about the Ukraine war if he had posted anything. Events central to this narrative is the activation of the gold-backed QFS quantum financial system across numerous nations alongside the restoration and the republic, though through what was described as NESARA/GESARA. According to this particular report, the first day of June 2026 marked the potential ignition of this system, granting priority access to the specific groups. Further significant dates mentioned include June 5th, 2026, when the wealth redistribution is suggested to flood accounts for verified patriots, and Zim redemptions are projected fund various humanitarian projects. Looking out further ahead, July 2nd, 2026 is noted as a potential date of the QFS gold standard to stabilize permanently within this proposed framework. Delving deeper into the financial aspects detailed within the report, information attributed to Bruce the Big Call suggests specific timeline for notifications and economic distributions for these identified as Tier 4B, us, the Internet Group. Notifications to set exchange appointments was anticipated Thursday, June 4th. The update also speaks to tariff dividend payments for natural U.S. citizens, potentially ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 per person, with the possibility of monthly payments for a year or two beginning shortly after the report's completions. The methodology for these payments varies by age, with direct deposits for 60 and older and mail for younger recipients, including college graduates with work experience. Moreover, a projected start date for debt forgiveness is noted around Sunday, July 5th, 2026, within this comprehensive outline. Finally, Judy Biden's personal notes within the report offer additional insights and advice for engaging this information while acknowledging the fluid nature of the exact dates for the Tier 4B exchange appointments. The report indicates that deadlines imply movement by the end of the week. It was published. It describes Wells Fargo purportedly control the Chinese elders who are the presented owners as owning the gold behind the global currency reset. As the entity that would send out emails detailing how to set redemption and exchange appointments globally, a key recommendation made in the report emphasizes exchanging foreign currency at an official redemption center, RC, rather than a bank, as you will get more money. The preference is the assertion of the Zim can only be redeemed at the RC. The dinar contract rate is exclusively offered there and will be much higher than banks will provide. Banks are just there to be banks the way they always have been. Furthermore, the report suggests that new banks accounts, referred to as wallets, could be established at the redemption centers, hinting at a significant shift in the role of most banks within proposed new financial systems. It is important to approach such comprehensive reports as part of a specific narrative circulating within certain online communities, offering a particular vision of future global financial and political transformation. These updates provide a fascinating window into ongoing discussions and predictions, encouraging readers to consider various perspectives on the potential shifts in the world economic and governance structures. That pretty much does it. What she said, guys, to me, I thought the stuff that all you guys found me, it's Kevin, I'm not going to read what you say. People can go down to almost this bottom and see what Kevin just wrote. And me and Marianne talk about that all the time. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we talk about that. I believe it. I believe exactly 100%.
What?
Yes, I can, Papa G. So I'm want to go get a quick bite to eat so I can sit down and see what 4547 is going to say. And we all know he's probably going to disappoint us a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe tonight's the start of what we've been waiting for. So, in that being said, dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, if we come to the end of tonight's show, we want to ask you to please look after all of us in the show here tonight, all the family members, the loved ones that have hung in there so long, Lord. We have put up with so much, and we continue to put up because of our love and our sacrifices that we're willing to make for you, to make your world a heaven on earth, which is what you've always wanted. It's always been your idea, Lord, for people to live not just a short life, but long, long lives, but the wrong people took over. And now with your help, Lord, with the help of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ, we will all be working forward to getting everything done. And we know soon that the switch is going to be pulled and everything is going to be done. And we're going to be living in the way you've always wanted us to. As we come to you tonight, pray to you tonight in our Savior, your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone.
Hey, belated birthday to Diane.
And one last thing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Patriot Diane. Happy birthday to you. That's Diane with two N's. Her birthday was yesterday, guys. I'm going to let it run for about another minute or two. I'm going to get up and walk away in a minute or two. I'm going to come back. I'm going to shut it off. And I hope that everybody here wishes Diane a happy birthday. Good night. God bless. We love you all. Good call, Ron. Because I forgot.
Do you believe them?
Right now?
Milwaukee was 28-0.
Jenny's still
Okay.
around.
The Cubbies lose. I win.
What, they're accusing me now? I never touched them.
But you did coach them up until a couple months ago. Why did they leave you?
They didn't leave me. I dropped them. The season was starting and I had to choose who I was going to coach for American Diva. I went with Grace. To make it, you have to be really special, and those girls just really are. Did you tell?
Old school online security tools leave you half protected. Get NordVPN with a next-gen antivirus. Avoid online scams, malware, and phishing. Get NordVPN today.
Those 26 miles in the rain? Yeah, Framebridge can frame that with custom framing made easy.
So they're saying
Whether
that
it's pink or Picasso,
a lot of people are
Framebridge
saying
will
now
frame
they
it with
think
the highest quality materials.
the White Sox are
Millions
gonna
of
take
custom
that other
frames
player,
and
that one
counting.
that
It starts
guy
today
says
at
it's
like, yeah,
Framebridge.com.
instead of
Things
Kowalski,
at work
and they're
don't
saying it
always
because
work.
he's younger.
With Easy Cater, the food
What
always
if that's
does.
who Detroit wants?
Big room booked again? Easy
For
Cater
the
always
picture.
has options.
Think
Too
about it.
many meetings, too little time? Easy
Ronnie,
Cater
we don't
shows
need
much
a-
that's always on your calendar.
We got Colson Montgomery who just signed a, what, 4 or 5 year extension?
Easy Cater is 10
We got him there, which,
every day.
I was gonna say, we'll move into third. How are we gonna move into
I
third?
can't believe they talk about third baseman tonight. It's well, that Detroit will probably be the all-star third baseman.
I don't know.
My, just because he's got potential, our guy is showing potential.
And with our Crystal City, you can bring your favorite exotic watercolor and shimmer right to your home.
Hi, Robert. Good to see you.
LakenPool.com now. Laken-
Hi, Eileen. Good to see you.
Artistic swimming.
We know why you put off your best.
Mountain Drinker. Good to see you. Thanks for all the happy birthdays to her. Good night, everyone. God bless. We'll see you Friday, maybe in the afternoon. Robert, we're thinking about doing a Friday afternoon, so I'll keep you in touch. Good night, everyone.